Now let me explain how to draw a velocity diagram. So this is the velocity diagram. Now let me draw so that we can understand easily. So this is the blade. Okay. Here the steam from the nozzle is entering into the blade with velocity v. So this is the velocity v. The steam entering into the blade with the angle beta. Okay, again I am repeating, the steam with velocity v entering into the blade with the angle beta. As we know that in impulse turbine, the steam will flow over the blade like this. Okay, here the velocity of the direction of the velocity changing, so there will be a momentum, so it will exert a force on the blade, then the blade will rotate. So the blade velocity is u. Okay, u is the blade velocity, v is the velocity of the steam. Now if you draw this velocity of the blade, since it is horizontal, if you draw same line here, this would be the velocity of the blade. The same line I have drawn here. Okay. Now the net force acting on the blade is v plus u, because here v is there and also u is there. The net force, it would be a v plus u, that is, we have to draw like this. If I join like this, so this would be the net force v1, absolute velocity, alpha is the nozzle angle. Actually this is the nozzle angle. Okay, v is the absolute velocity, u is the blade velocity. Here this red line, it would be a relative velocity, because this velocity is in the direction of the nozzle, so it would be a relative velocity. Okay, alpha is the nozzle angle. This is how we have to draw a velocity diagram at inlet. Same way we can draw at outlet also. So as we know that after passing through the blade, it will go like this. Okay, this velocity is vr2, relative velocity, because it is in the direction of the blade. Okay, here also we have to draw a u, since u is the horizontal, so this would be the u, blade velocity u. Okay, and the remaining is the absolute velocity beta. Okay, so this would be the beta, blade angle at outlet. This would be the alpha, nozzle angle at outlet. Okay, this is how we have to draw a velocity diagram. Since I have used cursor, here I am not able to draw clearly. Here you can see I have already drawn velocity diagram. Here you can see different all type of velocities and angles. v1 is the absolute velocity, vr1 is the velocity, relative velocity at inlet of the blade, alpha 1 is the nozzle angle, beta is the, here beta 1 is the blade angle at inlet of inlet, u is the velocity of the blade. Same way at the bottom, beta 2 is the blade velocity at outlet, vr2 is the relative velocity at outlet, v2 is the absolute velocity at outlet. Okay, this is how we have to draw a velocities and angles. Actually this is not a velocity diagram. If we join all velocities and angles in a single diagram, that would be a velocity diagram, that we will see in the next slide. but this is the way we have to draw velocities and angles. Okay, here from this diagram we can find the relative velocity Vr1 and the relative velocity Vr2. Here, as I said, V1 equals to vector V1 equals to vector Vr1 plus vector u. So same thing I have written, the net velocity V1 equals to vector u plus vector Vr1 relative velocity. So from this we can write it as relative velocity Vr1 equals to vector V1 minus vector u. The same way we can written for relative velocity at outlet also, that is Vr2 equals to vector V2 minus u. Here u is the common blade velocity. Okay. Now in the next slide we will see how to join all these force and velocities and how to combine, then it will become a velocity diagram. Now if you transform all angles and velocities in a single diagram, that diagram is known as velocity diagram. So this is the velocity diagram. Okay. Now let us see how to draw it, how to join all angles and velocities in a single diagram. Here you can see, here u is the blade velocity. This is horizontal at inlet and outlet also. So here I have written, I have drawn a horizontal line with the velocity u. U is the common. The next thing is V1. V1 is the absolute velocity with the angle alpha from the blade velocity. So here V1 is the absolute velocity with the angle alpha. So, okay, here V1 angle, here V1 angle, both are same. So we have to draw in the same way. And Vr1, Vr1 is the relative velocity at inlet of the blade. So this is the Vr1 with the angle beta from the u. So here I have drawn Vr1 with the angle beta from the u. Okay, this is at inlet. Same way we have to draw outlet also. At outlet, Vr2 is the relative velocity at outlet with the angle beta. So here, so this is the Vr2. Vr2 is the relative velocity at outlet. Beta 2 is the angle from the u. The remaining velocity is the absolute velocity at outlet, that is V2. Here angle is alpha 2 from the u. So this is the V2, the angle is alpha 2 from u. So this is how we have to draw a velocity diagram. This combined forces and angles, this diagram is known as velocity diagram. Now let us see force exerted on the blade from the velocity diagram. So here we can see, here V1 is the absolute velocity, that is velocity of the steam coming from the nozzle, and V2 is the absolute velocity at the exit of the blade. Okay, now the force exerted, it would be a, here you can see clearly in this diagram. So this is the absolute diagram V1. Okay, this we can write it as, this way we can write it as V1 cos alpha 1. So here V1 cos alpha 1, and the velocity at exit is V2. So if you do like this, this is the alpha 2. Okay, So this is V2 cos alpha. So this I have written V2 cos alpha. Okay. This is the total force exerted on the blade into mass flow rate is m dot. Now the total force m equals to m dot into here V1 cos alpha 1 is the whirl velocity Vw1 because of this force the blade is rotating. So that is whirl velocity Vw1 and whirl velocity Vw2 at the exit is V2 cos alpha. Okay, but here plus is there because this portion is already in other direction, so we have written plus. Okay, now the total force equals to m dot into Vw. Here Vw is Vw1 plus Vw2. Okay, again I am repeating Vw total whirl velocity equals to whirl velocity at inlet plus whirl velocity at outlet Vw1 plus Vw2. Okay, from this equation we can find the force exerted on the blade. We can write it as this equation from the velocity diagram. Here you can see this part we know, we already discussed V1 cos alpha 1 plus V2 cos alpha 2. Same way we can write this one relative velocity. Relative velocity is VR1 if you divide like this. So this is VR1 cos beta 1 plus VR2. VR2 is again if you do like this part is VR2 cos beta 2. So these two will be equal. This equation we use when we solve the problems. Okay. Now let us find power. What would be the output? Power is the output. Okay. When steam flowing over the blade, it exerts a force on the blade, so it will give some work. Okay, that power. The power equals to force into velocity of the blade. U is the velocity of the blade, that is equals to force we already derived. What is the force here? Force is m dot into Vw. So the same equation I have written into U divided by, to express in terms of kilowatts I have written divided by 1000. Okay, this we can write it as F into E is the power. So P equals to m dot is the mass flow rate into, but Vw, what is Vw here? Vw is Vw1 plus Vw2. So here in this place I have written this into U divided by 1000. So this is the equation to find the output. P equals to m dot into Vw1 plus Vw2 into U is the blade velocity divided by 1000. Now let us find blade or diagram efficiency. Since it is a velocity diagram, it is also known as a diagram efficiency or blade efficiency. Okay. Now efficiency. What is efficiency? Efficiency is output by input. Here output is power, because when steam flowing through the blade, it exerts a force on the blade, then the blade will rotate. Since the blade is connected to the shaft will rotate, it will give a power. So here power is the output. Coming to input, input is half mv square, because the steam is coming from the nozzle. In the nozzle, potential energy is converting into kinetic energy. So with the velocity kinetic energy, the steam entering into the blade. So the initial input velocity is the half mv square, that is kinetic energy. Okay. So here I have written in the denominator half mv square In the numerator, in the place of P, we know that for P we already derived equation in the previous slide. That is m dot into Vw into u. U is the blade velocity, Vw is the whirl velocity, m dot is the mass flow rate. Okay, here m got cancelled. The remaining is blade efficiency equals to 2 into Vw u divided by V1 square. Okay, which means here Vw is the whirl velocity, u is the blade velocity, V1 square is the absolute velocity at inlet. Okay, from this equation we can find the blade or diagram efficiency. Okay, now stage or gross efficiency. Stage means it is a combination of nozzle and blade. Okay, like that it will have a number of stages. Now the gross efficiency equals to output is the power. Power is m dot Vw u. Here u is the blade velocity, Vw is the whirl velocity, m dot is the mass flow rate, divided by delta H. Here delta H is the input, which is how much enthalpy drop in the nozzle converting into useful work. That is input delta H. So enthalpy drop we can write it as m dot into delta H. So gross efficiency equals to m dot Vw. Here we are multiplied by half mv square and divided by half mv square. So there will be no change in the equation. So in divided by delta H into m. Okay. Now here this portion m dot Vw u by half mv2 square, that is blade efficiency. This we already derived in the previous slide. And if you remember, efficiency of the nozzle is half mv square divided by delta H into m. This is the efficiency of the nozzle. So that gross efficiency equals to efficiency of the blade into efficiency of the nozzle. So the gross efficiency always less than the efficiency of the blade. Now friction losses in the passage. As we know that in impulse turbine, the steam will flow and glide over the passage of the blade. Okay. If there is no friction, the relative velocity should be equal. Vr1 equals to Vr2. Okay. But in actual practice, there will be a friction. So the friction loss Qf equals to m dot is the relative mass flow rate into Vr1 square minus Vr2 square divided by 2. Here Vr1 square is the relative velocity at inlet, Vr2 square is the relative velocity at outlet. It is by 2 because here kinetic energy based on the relative velocity at the inlet, at the outlet also kinetic energy based on the relative velocity. So there is a by 2. So from this equation we will find the frictional losses in the passage. Thrust along the axis of the shaft. Okay. When steam flows over the blade, it exerts a force on the blade. So since the blade is connected to the shaft will rotate. So there will be thrust force on the shaft. So the thrust force F equals to m dot into Vf1 minus Vf2 divided by 1000 that is in kilonewtons. Okay, from this equation we can find the thrust force along the axis of the shaft. So the shaft would be like this. On the shaft there will be blades.